All right. Well, hey everyone, welcome back to a Friday night show of, well, me here. I did not expect to be a bad day for the miners or Bitcoin in general. It was a surprise to me, I'm sure, as it was for a lot of you guys as well. But what really happened? Well, Bitcoin dropped, miners dropped as well today because of Bybit getting hacked and losing 1.4 billion in Ethereum. And that's why I titled this show, live stream, stupidity all around, right? It's Ethereum that got hacked. It's Bybit that got hacked. It's not Bitcoin. It's not the Bitcoin miners, but yet again, any kind of bad story that comes out on the crypto space or anything like that, it triggers the algos on the markets and everything just kind of tanks at that point. So there's not much going on here as far as the miners. Miners, we'll talk about them. They obviously had a little crash today. Bitcoin, same thing. Ethereum for sure. But there's not much else. Other than that, I do have one good news story for you guys today. Don't have any information on the miners as it is. I was in a space earlier on with some, I don't know if you want to call them bears in the space for Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners, but it became a shouting match. I stayed on as long as I could, listen to them. It's always good to get the opposite point of view as well. So that was kind of fun and interesting. Also at the same point, they're definitely against me, I guess you could say, against what my thoughts are on this space and Bitcoin miners, that they would still go up. But it's always good to get, like I said, the opposite side of view, the bearish sentiment, and because we don't want to be in an echo chamber. So getting both sides of view, I believe, is important, and I'm always willing to listen, right? Always willing to listen, and always willing to also kind of, what's the word I'm looking for there? Defend my own position as far as why I think the miners will still do very well potentially, right? So we will get into all that and everything else. This not space, this stream. And as always, you guys know, not financial advice for anyone only. Do your own research, right? Full disclosure below that. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And what else happened today? I did buy some more today on the dip. I bought Cleanspark at $9.41 and Cleanspark at $11 something, I believe it was. $11.41, I think it was. So I did buy today. I bought today because things were dipping. I'm like, okay, I got some cash laying on the side. Let's put it to use. Let's see where we end up at here. But things went down a little bit more than that. And I still have a little bit more cash for possibly if things go down even more for us. But here's Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin was obviously down today based on the news from Bybit being hacked. It's still, to me, ridiculous that Bitcoin and the miners went down because of it. When majority, I would say, actually like 99% of the miners don't do anything with Ethereum. The only one that has anything with Ethereum is Digital. They have some big Ethereum that they are staking and getting a yield on that, but that's the only really one that's out there. Nonetheless, the miners tanked today as well as Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin was down. It was up to, I thought today was going to be a pretty good day. It started out at least a good day. But Bitcoin went up to a high of 99,517 and 52 cents. And then we crashed all the way down to a low of 94,721 and 92 cents. That's basically roughly 5,000 swing on the day here. We did bounce back up towards the end of the day here. We closed out at 96,157. So we're still range bound. We're still trading sideways basically with Bitcoin. And it was just, unfortunately, some FUD in the markets. The other FUD that I heard today also, I don't know if you guys heard this as well, was that China is reporting that there is another pandemic about to happen. It's supposed to be worse than the coronavirus. It's supposed to be even worse than that, I guess. I don't know if that also played into it today, that kind of crashed everything on it. The markets were down today. Everything else was down today on it as well. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how the weekend is. I'm guessing the weekend is going to be probably pretty flat here. But MicroStrategy was down quite a bit, 7.48% on that. It's still not as low as it has been here recently, which the prior low here recently was on December 31st, when it went down to a low of $285.01. But we got pretty close to that. Today we were down on MicroStrategy all the way down to a low of 299.04 cents on it. So, right, that wasn't good. Bitfarms was down 5%. BitDeer was down 12%, 12.32%. Cypher was down 9.7% as well. Cleanspark was down 8.05%. CORZ was down 8.78%. Hive was down 7.43%. Hut 8 was down 8.19%. IREN was down almost 12% here on the day. It's right, kind of silly, ludicrous. Mara was down 8.09%. Riot was down 9.83%. Wolf was down 9.33%. They're actually lower than they were here recently. They're down to a low of $4.08. Their prior low was back here, which was $4.13. The smaller miners got beat up pretty bad as well. Any was down 6.72. Argo was down 5.94. BitDigital was down 8.14. Digihost, oh my gosh, look at this one. This one's bouncing off of the 100 simple day moving average here. It was down 14.85% on the day, way off from its high here. So that's kind of strange. Well, not really strange, but I think it was due for a little correction there. DMG was down 3.65. Mawson was down 5.48. Stronghold was down 6.67. ETFs were down 6%, 7%, 8%, 8%, almost 8.75% here. So a lot of overreaction, I think. I think the algos just went haywire, went crazy with today's news of the Bybit hack. Was it warranted? I don't think it was warranted. I don't know if any of you guys think it was warranted. I think it was just silly, ludicrous, crazy, whatever you want to call it, that the way the reaction happened here today in the markets. Because it does not affect Bitcoin at all. Some are saying that, okay, Bybit's going to have to use Bitcoin to, or sell their Bitcoin to right the wrong with the hack. I've also heard stories on X that maybe the Ethereum Foundation or the Ethereum group there is going to do a split somehow and make it right so the hackers don't get access to those coins or something like that. I don't know how much truth there is to it as well. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's definitely one of the biggest hacks here that we've had. 1.4 billion. That's substantial. That's a lot. That's a lot of Ethereum there. Bybit said that they're okay. They're going to be okay with it. Or they're going to be okay with it. I'm sure they're not happy with it, but they're going to be okay being able to cover the losses there. So that should be good, right? So we'll see what happens over the weekend with Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. I'm guessing we're going to trade sideways here. We'll see what happens on Monday with all this stuff here. It's not easy. So, yeah, I mean, today was not a good day. We'll see where we end up at next week on things. Okay, going over here to some of the good news that we have here. But first, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin here for the month of February right now. It's down 5.98%. We have roughly 7 more days to go before the end of the month. It was looking like we were going to end up maybe in the green here earlier today, but not any longer. We'll see what happens next week. Maybe we do get a little bounce and we get at least a slight positive on Bitcoin here for the month of February. We'll see where that ends up at. Okay. The only good story that I have here for you guys is Iowa files a new bill to invest public funds in Bitcoin. The orange wave is unstoppable. So just another thing that's happening here for us. That's good. That's part of the adoption and everything else, which we really like to see. And we'll see where this takes us. So that's all I really have for you guys. Nothing else on the miners. The miners that I updated the pricing on the miners today, and here is the latest enterprise value per exahash that I have for the miners. Not much has changed here a little bit. Obviously, everybody being down here. Cleanspark went down a little bit more here to 41 million, so it's underneath now IREN for 43 million per future exahash, and that's it. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to go around in circles and talk about what happened today. It's just, it was unfortunate, and it was a correction that we had a little bit, well, I wouldn't even call this a correction, just a little small crash, I would say. I still think that Bitcoin right now, possibly, I mean, there's still a chance that Bitcoin here goes down to the gap that we have on Bitcoin futures on the CME, right, which is between 97 or 98,000 and 80,500, something like that. There is still a slight possibility that that could happen here with Bitcoin. If it goes below our wedge here, our lower bounds on the wedge, it might go down to like the 80,000 mark, which would be the simple 200 simple day moving average, roughly right around there, right? So there's still a possibility of it could happening. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that there is a possibility. That would be a 30% correction that we've historically seen in Bitcoin here, because right now we've only seen a correction of about, what was it, 14%, 18% from the top here down to here, which has been 17%, like 18% roughly. So historically we have seen 30% corrections. Now, if this turns out to be a different cycle, then maybe we don't see it, but there's still a possibility that that might happen here. So something to look out for. And if that does happen, obviously the miners are going to go down even more because of it. If you go down to 78,000 with Bitcoin, miners are definitely going to go down some more here. So maybe have a little bit more dry powder on the sidelines in case that does happen. Then we can buy more into the miners if you want to, or if you're fearful right now and panicking. I mean, I would not blame you guys if you guys sold out of the miners if you're in green right now. I'm still in green on these guys. My average on Cleanspark is $5 something, and on IREN it's $8. It's $8, I believe, on that one. And Bitfarms for me is around $1.35, I think, on the average for it. So I'm still, well, I'm underwater with Bitfarms right now, just down a little bit here, but everybody else, I'm still in the green here. So I'm willing to take the chance and see where things go with Bitcoin. I still believe Bitcoin goes up further this year, only based on the simple fact of all of the adoption, right? We talked about this all the time. The states buying it, possibly buying it, countries, everything else, companies, all that stuff. So I don't think we're out of the, or at least I don't think that we have peaked yet. I could be wrong on that. And I'm okay if I'm wrong with that. I just, I'm still in the green on most of my stuff. So if I'm wrong and we go down to like 65,000, I should be able to at least have a little bit of profit on the shares that I do on Cleanspark and IREN. Bitfarms are probably going to be underwater at that point, but I've sold some that I've been at higher prices, so I still should be okay with that. All right, let's get into your guys' Q&A here. Like I said, I don't have much as far as the miners are concerned here right now, and let's see what you guys have to say on all this stuff, and if you have any questions or anything like that. It looks like I posted a poll here. It looks like 67%, 68% of you guys have bought the dip today. I was one of those as well. So let's see what you guys have to say on that. And as always, if you could preface the question with a question mark or Q, I'd appreciate it. And I'm going to work my way down as we go. Well, I'm going to work my way up and then work my way down. Let's see what we got here as far as questions are concerned here, if any. Let's see here. Steven says, Fed cats, gotcha. The market is rigged. Definitely seems like it, right? Let's see. Yeah, as is scam attempt happened today on BitBuy. It was Bybit. It wasn't a scam. I think it was a hack. All right, let's see. B82 says, Seb, I bought Hive rolled calls options for Cleanspark and Mara. Very nice. Let's see. Carolina says, those guys in the space have zero arguments beyond the price went down. Going to keep them blocked till we're right. They took it a bit too far, bashing DR. Yeah, I didn't like that either. Well, they weren't really bashing DR. They were bashing more the Bitcoin mining stock guy for changing the name of the group from the Bitcoin mining mafia to DR Lewis in memory of DR Lewis, right? So I still didn't like that. That was kind of a cheap shot there, I think. Okay. BT has a question here. I think much of today was short sellers pushing to capture short put options, allowing them to cover at a profit. That I don't know. I don't have the data on that, so I wouldn't know, but maybe that was the case. Okay, let's see. Mark says, market makers use the opportunity to create fear by crashing the market on every bad news. That's how they make money. Yeah, I would agree with you there. LM bought Mara here. Seems way too bearish, yet price remains in solid 9200,000 range. Yep. That was good. Let's see. Desmarket Stats says, I've been using my Robinhood cash back rewards to buy spot Bitcoin. So yeah, I bought today the dip. Nice. Very nice. Chow, I'm guessing this is Chow. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I do apologize. Hi Seb, I also read about this China and COVID news. Do you think this is the reason the entire market, even non-crypto stocks, dipped today? Thanks. Might be, right? If there is something out there that's like that, I feel like I had it already last week or the week before, where I was sick for like 6 days until I actually got medicine and had antibiotics in my system for a couple of days to feel better. So I don't know if it's just in China right now or it might be other places as well. Because I mean, having a fever for like 6 days is not something that I'm used to having and feeling like crap. So it might be out already. Let's see. Angel says every time you think you bought the dip, it gets dipping more. Yeah. So it really depends on when you buy into these companies, right? I'm sure there's quite a few of you guys that have bought in when the miners were up higher in price. I feel for you. It's not easy. And that's why I started buying back in 2023. Was it 2022? When did I start buying back into these guys? 2022 is when I was starting to buy into these guys because I didn't know where the bottom was going to be on them. So that helped me tremendously to have a much lower average price on these guys here. So I do understand that very well. Bevnit here, question, seems like every week there is something which makes the stock market tanks. When does this all stop? It's literally every single week. If it's not the inflation report, it's these bear news. Yeah, I don't know when it's going to stop. I still think eventually it will stop and eventually will get better. But I could be wrong on that, right? Let's see here. My mom lives in Iowa. Okay, nice. So that's my neighbor state here. I live in Illinois. Hank, how you doing, buddy? Cleanspark, IREN, and Galaxy is a fire sale all day. Sit on the sidelines if you want. Not me. Nice. All right. Let's see. Twitter is a bigger mining community than YouTube, from what I've noticed. If we're going to spank the shorts, we should start here. I would agree with you. I think Twitter is definitely has more people contributing to it. It's easier to contribute there on Twitter than it is on X, whatever you want to call it, than it is on YouTube, because YouTube you have your face out there. You're a little bit more vulnerable, I think, at that point. So it's a lot easier for people to get on X, voice their opinions and everything else that way. So I would agree there. Hank says, manipulation plays the FUD, but lesson for me is to stay 20% cash for days like this. I have learned to be patient. Very nice. Right, let's see here. I wouldn't doubt Bitfarms RS. Seems like the miners going back in a bear. I hope not. Horrible. Yeah. All right, what else we got here? Okay. Daz Market says, I've been day trading my cash, going pretty well. That's great to hear. Love hearing that. The market is getting predictable lately. How do you see that being predictable lately? Love to hear your thoughts on that. Let's see. If we do go down to 80,000 for Biddy, I'm going on margin without a second thought. Nice. Okay. Pumps and dumps on earnings everywhere. Yeah, I'm been kind of seeing the same thing, so I would agree with you there. Okay, let's see. Your 65 is a stretch with all the supply being eaten up. No, I think so, right? I think if we do bottom out, I think it's going to be right around like 75, 78,000, somewhere around there, if it happens. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying there's a possibility that could happen. Okay, let's see. Hank says, if we get to 80,000, it works to, I would be shocked, I guess, but what a gift. Possibly, yeah. Market is rigged. Just roll with it, yep. Let's see. I think Bitfarms is at the bottom, not going down as other miners. Okay, why do you think that? Because if Bitcoin goes down, I think they will go down as well. Okay, Rome's 5 Chicago here. Hi Seb, question. BTC seems to lose momentum due to confusing Trump's tariff scare tactics. Is it on or off the table or delayed? So this right now, the tariffs with Canada and Mexico have been postponed for probably another 2 weeks, I think it is, for another week maybe, or another 3 weeks. Can't remember when that was the news that Canada and Mexico are both in talks with the United States as far as what they're going to do with the border. So right now those things are kind of delayed. We don't have exact information if they're going to be implemented or not. And then let's see, BTC should have been 125,000 with all of this. We're filling gap down to 76. Okay. We might fill the gap down to 76. I'm not saying that we have to. I'm saying that there is a possibility that we could if it breaks down below our triangle or a wedge, whatever you want to call it. Let's see here. Hey, Seb, have you updated your price targets for the miners at all? I have not. I'm still waiting on some of these guys to provide their quarterly results. We've only had 3 that reported so far. We still have another 7 that need to report. Once they all do report, then we'll have the actual number of shares outstanding, and then I can maybe do some estimates as far as where we might go. All right. Let's see. Prediction on dilution for Cleanspark in 2025. I think it's going to be very minimal, right? They have gotten the, oh gosh, drawing a blank right now. The convertible debt, about 500 million from that, 400 some odd million, 500 million from that. That should last them enough to be able to build out to the 50 plus exahash there and be able to hodl here for quite a while. So if we do see dilution, I would expect it to happen probably in like Q4 maybe, if Bitcoin hasn't topped at that point. All right, let's see here. Sebastian, buy the dip. Let's hear 6-month targets for Cleanspark, Bitdeer, IREN, and Wolf. Well, that all depends where Bitcoin's going to go. If Bitcoin goes up in the next 6 to 9 months to 200,000 or something like that, I would expect the miners to be much higher from where they are right now. Right, I would think at least the minimum they would do is a 2x from where they are. And they could definitely do better than that. But it just depends on the sentiment in the market. There's a lot of things in play. Where does the network hash rate go? How do they grow? All that stuff plays into it. But I would expect them to be much higher. Let's see, 420 Kyle 1620 says Mara under 15 is a solid buy. Yeah, I mean their hodl position is, yeah, it's crazy the way they're being valued there right now. Let's see, Hank says, I sold Mara at a loss for Cypher today. Not sure that was right, but feel like Cypher can run sooner. Cypher has more growth in the second half of 2025. They also have a much lower hodl position. That's a tough one. That is a tough call there. Let's see, Pitt says, bought some Cleanspark today, out of money now, wish I could buy some more. Be patient, maybe you can buy in another week or 2, right, a little bit more. I know it's not easy. All right, B82 has a question here. I have heard you as well as others mention miners going 3, 5, 10x. Do you measure this from today or bottom of the cycle? So from today, I would say the miners could still do possibly like a 2 to 5x, right, from today, roughly. 5x would be different than the high end. I think 2 to 3x would be possible if Bitcoin goes up to 200,000. When we're talking about like 10x, I would think that would be from the bottom of December of 2022. A lot of the miners are already up 4x, 5x, something like that. So I think if they do another 2x, that would be close to a 10x from the bottom. I don't think they can do 10x from where they are right now, unless Bitcoin goes way beyond what we think it's going to go. That's the only way I would see that happening. Let's see. Are you, let's see, hi Seb, are you MAGA too like me? Make America great again? Yeah, absolutely. I changed party after all this ridiculous way of managing the current status of affairs. Thought it was just BS talking points, then realized it's not. Miners regrets. Miners regrets? I'm not sure what you mean by miners regrets there, but yeah. Historically, I would say I've been a Republican, right, ever since pretty much Reagan. I align greatly with Reagan as far as making the country great, smaller government, strong on defense and across borders and things like that, right, kind of going against Russia and all that stuff, anywhere there's dictatorships and things like that. So I would just say anything that makes America great, I'm all for it, right? We need to make some changes here. Definitely have too much bloat, too much spending on just crap, I guess you could say. So if we can make it great again, that'd be fantastic there. All right. Let's see. Ernest says BTC price is almost the same price as yesterday. Yeah, but the miners are way cheaper. Is it better time to buy the dips? I bought some shares of Hive today. Okay, nice. Yeah. I mean, I bought today as well. I think this is a good buying opportunity. I don't think not the market. I don't think the bull run on Bitcoin is over yet. I could be wrong on that, right? So take that with a grain of salt as always. But yeah, I still think the best for Bitcoin is yet to come here. Okay, Manu has a question here. Hi, Seb. Are small miners like Mawson with old machines still making a profit if BTC stays at 100,000? I don't think so. I think also Mawson has transitioned more into a hosting company. Last time they reported for their self-mining, they didn't report anything on that. So I think they're just mostly hosting right now. Some of the other smaller miners that have the older machines like the 100 terahash and the 140 terahash are going to be slightly profitable at this point. You really need to have like the latest generation miners like the S21s, Pros, and things like that in order to be profitable. It also depends on the power costs that you have right now. Let's see, B82 says, much of today was predictable due to low volume recently and large number of puts and option expiration today. But if we didn't have the news on Bybit, do you think that things would have crashed that much? I think it would have been a little bit more subdued at that point. Let's see. Alessandro Tech says Mara will end up in single digits again if BTC drops under 90,000. Crazy. Yeah, if we go down to like 80 some thousand, I think it might definitely go down to single digits again. KB Dubs waiting for more at $7 to buy. Might happen if Bitcoin goes down. Let's see, Mara is getting so large, HODL, they are trending to the value of the HODL. Mining is barely break even, so this may be reasonable for the price to come down. I mean, right now, the assets that they have alone, I'll have to look at it. I think the assets, once they report their quarterly results, we'll see what their assets numbers are like. But with the assets and Bitcoin HODL that they have there, I think their market cap is going to be lower than their assets, I think. But we'll have to see on that. Let's see here. Hi, Seb. Have you heard this rumor? Riot is preparing a second takeover bid at 320 for Bitfarms. I thought they couldn't make another offer until 2026, part of their agreement there. But I could be wrong on that. But I haven't heard anything on that, no. All right, Christian has a question here. If you say miners could make 2x with Bitcoin at 200,000, do you mean a 100% increase for the miners when Bitcoin does a 100% increase as well? Yeah, so basically I'm saying at the bare minimum, I would think they would do at least a 2x, right? Bitcoin goes up 100%. The minimum the miners should do is at least 100% gains as well. Could they get more than that? I would think so, but time will tell. I mean, you're looking way out. The way the miners have reacted here recently, I just don't know if that's going to be the case. Historically, they have done at least a 2x on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up 100%, the miners would usually do like a 200% gain at that point. And that's kind of where I would think things would play out, but we'll see. Jerry says, I got sick today watching my gains get destroyed on the miners. My chest sank in. Damn. Yeah, it was a painful day today for sure. It wasn't a good day. JK says about the dip, very nice. Let's see, Hank says, I love everything Trump and Elon have done. Trump doesn't respect Trudeau and the liberals, and neither do I. I need the Trump and Elon philosophy in Canada. Yeah, Canada, from what I've seen here, has definitely gone more towards the left. I mean, there were signs of it, right? When the truck drivers were protesting, and I mean, that wasn't a great tell for the country there. Why so many short sellers betting against miners doesn't make any sense. Miners are already so beaten, they should move to another industry. Well, that's the reason why. The liquidity is there for them to short it, so that makes it easy. And they're going along something else, and they're shorting the miners, and that's kind of what we have here. Will Bitcoin going up make the difference? I think it will, but we'll have to wait and see. All right. Menendong, I'm butchering your name there. I do apologize. Did Cleanspark announce any solid plans beyond 50x session earnings? They did not. They said like 56, 57, or 50 to 57x hash, something like that, I think is what they're planning on. They may get BTC yield or their own pool soon, which sounds uncertain. So the pool we don't know about. That's something that they've talked about, that they could possibly do that with the size that they are right now. But it does mean more overhead, more costs, and if they're paying a relatively low fee to the pool operator that they're using right now, it may not make sense there. And then let's see here. They just hope the HODL to go up and BTC go up and nothing else. Well, growth is still going to happen here. We're at 41 exahash with them right now. If they get to like 50 plus exahash, 56, 57, whatever it might be, later on this year, I think that would be good. Definitely would love to see some more growth, but all of these companies that we're tracking here, none of them have so far provided any huge growth this year. It's just like they're in a wait and see mode, see where Bitcoin goes and everything else. I think they're looking at it as this might be the top happening later on this year for Bitcoin, where Bitcoin goes, wherever it's going to go, right? By the end of this year, Q3, Q4, and then we're going to possibly get into a bear market. I think that's kind of what their thought process is, which is based on, I think, what they've learned in past cycles, how things have played out, and they don't want to commit to anything large as far as purchases are when you're going back down into a bear market potentially. But yeah, I'd definitely love to see some more growth from these guys, from all the miners. Let's see. Hank says the market makers used Bit News today, or Bybit News today, no doubt. Yeah, I completely agree with you there. TB82 says an advantage of old miners is they are largely depreciated, and running them at slow clock increases their efficiency. There are private miners doing this at a profit. Good interview with Bryce. Yeah, there are definitely some miners that can do that. If you underclock them, you could definitely do that. But you're making, how much are you actually making on those, right? So we could run the numbers on it and see where things end up at, but it's definitely not anything substantial there. You're able to cover the cost for electricity and maybe make a small profit on it at that point. Nicho says Trump has been horrible for crypto. Well, when Trump was getting elected, right? Remember, Bitcoin went from 60-some thousand to 100,000. So I don't know if he's been that bad. Just recently, we've been trading sideways on Bitcoin. We need a little bit more time, I think, to have that be a concrete thing. Let's see. Sicario says, the way you handled the X space earlier was amazing. Great composure. And like you say, do your own research. And it's not financial advice. So it's our choice at the end of the day. Yeah, it's, I'm here to provide you guys with my thoughts on it. Could I be wrong? Yes. I never want to put you guys or lead you guys down the wrong path. I'm doing the things that I'm doing, right? You guys can see what I'm doing. I'm pretty transparent on those things. And like I said on the space there, however they're trading, I'm all for it. I wish them all the best there. I can't day trade. I don't have the time. I work full time. So my approach has been to dollar cost averaging down in the bear market and hopefully have a gain in the bull run here. So I'm still in the green. So I'm happy with that. But yes, if somebody has bought in when price of Cleanspark was at $22, $23 and Mara was at $30-some, you're probably not too happy right now. And I completely would understand that. So you need to do definitely your own research, see where things are going. We really don't know. We had a nice run up here last year in the miners. This year, the past year has been not great, except for the miners that have been actually in HPC AI. Those guys have actually done pretty well. So yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, but that wasn't an easy space. Definitely a lot of cursing and yelling and things like that. It's like, I stayed in there as long as I could, and I was preparing for the show here anyway, so I'm like, okay, I got to get out on it. Let's see. Sebastian, miners will definitely 2 to 4x for, more than BTC. Okay, I'm not the only one that's thinking that. That's good. Let's see. My understanding was the Cleanspark is fully funded now for their plan and done with dilution. That is my understanding as well. But it all depends. I mean, I would say that they're fully funded to like 50 plus exahash, 50, 56, maybe even at that point. But if they continue to hodl everything each month and don't sell, they've been selling a little bit here, but if they don't sell a lot of it, I think eventually the cash is going to run out. I don't know exactly when that's going to run out, but I'm guessing maybe by the end of Q3 it might start running out. And into Q4 they might, I'm not saying that they will, I'm just saying that there's a possibility that they might have to dilute a little bit at that point. Let's see here. Desmarket Stats says, oh, I almost forgot I bought more Cleanspark today. Nice. Let's see here. Hi, Seb. Question. Can Trump and his billionaire friends steal all the U.S. reserve gold? No, I don't think they can steal that. Why would they even steal that? Pardon themselves and resign? Okay, that would be definitely a fantastic heist if they do that, but I don't think they can do that. Let's see, by bankrupting the U.S., they can buy it back at a bargain to rebuild. No more enemies. No, yeah, that would be a fantastic heist if they pull that off. They could, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can definitely pardon yourself. Trump could definitely pardon himself and everybody else, but how much is in there? I would have to look to see how much the is in the Fed or in the reserves there for gold. And I mean, Elon Musk is worth, what is it now? 200, 300 billion, whatever he's worth. Does he really care if he gets anything more? I think he cares more about what happens to the United States and the debt that we have here and just the costs and spending and everything else on it. So I think he's being altruistic. I think that's the right term, altruistic, in his approach and everything else. Okay. Hank says market cap for Cleanspark is less than the assets they own. If true, ridiculous. Yeah, I saw that too. I think, let's see, we can probably take a look at that. I got Cleanspark's numbers here for the quarterly 4 results. If we look at them, let's take a look at where they are on net. Let's go back here. Okay. So let's see, assets, total assets is almost 2.8 billion. What is their value here right now? 2.6. Yeah, so their assets is actually more than their market cap. So go figure. They're not even being valued on the assets that they do have right now. Bitcoin HODL is valued at 1 billion for them. Yeah, that's why I say a lot of these guys are undervalued a lot, and I think they will do better going forward. But we just need Bitcoin to cooperate and the markets to cooperate with us. All right, let's go back here. So yeah, that is definitely true here. Let's see, Christian has a question. Do you think the miners are behind on their performance in the cycle? As far as performance and price appreciation, I don't know if they're behind it. They did have a different cycle this time around where they were going up before the halving event with Bitcoin going up to 73,000. And then after the halving event, they did go down, right? A lot of them at least. The ones that had HPCI intentions, plays there, they did better with it. And then let's see, what else is the other one? Meaning they could get a good pop to come up to where they should be as soon as shorts get... Yeah, I think that's the case. I think the shorts are bringing them down. I think also it's been a different cycle. So that's why I don't know if it's going to be an extended cycle. I'm leaning towards that, but I could be wrong on it. We could have a regular cycle like we had before. Bitcoin goes to 180,000, 200,000, whatever it might be by the end of the year, and then we crash back down 70%. I just don't know. We'll have to definitely see how that plays out. Jerry says, being in the miners stocks lately are definitely not for the weak. No, they are not. Very volatile, right? You definitely need to understand what you're getting into with these guys. All right. Hank says, Friday night, Sebastian is here to calm the masses. Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. Cheers. You too, Hank. Thanks for coming in here, buddy. What else we got here? Question, I'm confused about companies like Hut 8 that do 25 plus exahash but only self-mine around. What are they doing wrong? Well, the 25 plus exahash is for managed hosting or managed services there. So they manage basically Bitcoin mining for others. And they're only self-mining at like 5 exahash, I think, 5 exahash like that. So that's why they're only getting 100 BTC for it. That's kind of why you're seeing it there. They are supposed to be growing that as well. We'll see where they get to by the end of the year. All right. Taking All Bets says, I set some limits orders. I think it's going to drop more on Monday. Why would you think it would drop on Monday? We've had a nice drop here today. I don't know if we're going to drop. I think we might actually bounce on Monday, but we'll see. All right. Let's see. Hive having a low market cap and nice growth from the Bitfarms deal makes it seem more likely to get 5x than something like Mara. But as a perma hold, Mara might be the only miner I'd be comfortable with. Yeah, so it depends on Hive. Hive has definitely nice growth here from 6 exahash going to 25 exahash by the end of the third quarter. So there's definitely a lot of growth there. The only thing with Hive is their cost to mine. It's around 70,000 right now as of Q4 for them. So that's my only concern there with them. And we need to definitely see how they perform here going forward. Right, let's see it. Soon single digits, Dog Water Company and Dog Management. Okay. Would agree with you in partially with that, I guess. Operations have not been great here historically with them. They have been better in the last couple months. I will give that to them there. Okay, is this a repeat of 2013, 2014 BTC monthly chart? I don't know if it's going to be a repeat of that. Let me see here really quick. Bitcoin returns 2013, 2014. Okay, so this is the returns here on 2013. 2013 was actually not a bad year for us. 2014 was definitely not a good year for us. I don't know if it's going to be the same thing. I mean, if we look at it here, we were up 10%. We're almost 10% here in January. We're not down that much as we were 2014 in February. I don't know. I still think that we're like in a 2015, 2017 cycle. 2015 to 2017, right? Somewhere around there. We had, right here, we had October, November, December that were in the green. And then we had 2017, we were actually down on the month, but February was in the green. I'm still thinking it's like a 2017 cycle here. Time will only tell if I'm close to that or if I'm right at all on that. All right, let's go back here. Let's see here. Do you think the sell-off was due to tourists panicking? Bitcoin really didn't go down much. I think it's the algos, the algorithms that are running the trading on, for some of these big guys. I think it's the algos panic. They saw a hack with Bybit. They saw the news from China possibly having another pandemic because of another worse coronavirus. I think that all played into it. We'll see how next week plays out. Dad's market stats says day trading is easier than you think. Time in the market, it just takes patience and experience. Possibly, right? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with day trading. I think that's a great way to do it as well. But there's different ways of investing. You can do day trading, you can do longer term investing. I don't think any one of those is wrong. It's just whatever you're comfortable with, I guess. I think it's Lenny. Maybe leave the politics to other channels. You clearly have no clue about what goes on in Canada. Ronald Reagan would puke if he saw what the U.S. has become under your orange god. Hand over orange. Okay. Yeah, I don't usually talk about politics. When people ask me about it, I'll chime in on it, right? So, like I said, I'm more of a Ronald Reagan Republican than anything else at that point. Okay, let's see. Cleanspark is profitable now, but is truly trading like going going bankrupt. When this manipulation will stop, that I have no idea, Pete. I wish I knew. But yeah, it's definitely not fun. I was about to jump on the live and defend you against those rats, but they never accepted. Sign up. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, right? Everybody has their own opinion. I'm okay with it. I'm all for freedom of speech. You can definitely disagree with me. I do not take any what's the word I'm looking for? I'm okay with it, I guess. That's the best way I can say it. I'm okay with it, right? It comes with the territory. I can definitely take it, and I'm okay with it. So that's fine. Let's see here. Mount Holder, I based on their quarterly reports. Be careful only looking at the direct costs because they don't include infrastructure and minor costs and other real costs running the business. Yes, I would agree with you there. Question now that BitBuy hack has been traced. Do you think we should be back to 100,000 again? Well, I don't know why we even dropped today, right? I think Bitcoin's still trading it in a sideways pattern, basically going sideways. It's in a wedge more or less. If we can break out of that wedge, here, let me show you this right now. So if we can, we're close to getting right above that wedge there, the upper part of the wedge. So if we can do that, that'd be great. If we fall below this, I think we might be going down to like this, what is it, the 78,000 mark possibly to fill the gap here on the CME futures gap here. So that's between 77,820 roughly and 80,000. We might be going back down there. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that there's a possibility that it could happen. Okay, so let's go back here. Talked about that one already. Let's see here. Edgar says bought Hive way too cheap. Nice. Brian says Canada next 51st state. Yeah, don't poke the little bears there over there. Let's see, the shorting on the miners is just crazy. They absolutely will pop. I think the shorting is also high, right? Eventually, I would think that they would pop, but we'll have to wait and see, unfortunately. Jerry says here, the more BTC goes up, the bar gets higher for the miners to stay up after only a little dip with BTC. It's kind of scary. The miners are always a leverage play on Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin goes down 2%, 3%, whatever it might be. The miners will do 6 to 9% down, and sometimes it doesn't always go the other way. So Bitcoin goes up 2%. Sometimes the miners will do that. It will go up 3 or 6, 9% at that point as well. Sometimes Bitcoin will go down and the miners will actually go up. It's crazy. Let's see. Kat says every time Trump spews something, the market goes red. The reason for that is uncertainty, right? When there's uncertainty in the markets panic. All right. See, B82 says, Seb, I'm concerned about the shorts given the share count is so much increased. GME squeeze was a case on small share count, 83 million, and crazy short, yeah, 120%. Really need BTC up for the profits. Yeah. I mean, the miners definitely have a lot more shares than what GME had at that point, but it was naked shorts that really got hit really hard in GME, and that was a terrific play by the Roaring Kitty there to spot that naked shorts are that high on it. So getting people to get into those definitely played a big role into it. Ryan has a question here. If a U.S. sovereign BTC fund passed, how many more BTC would they need to push to push BTC past 300? That I don't know. That's based on supply and demands. How many people would you have selling? Right, we have, I think right now, short-term holders are like at 92,000 per Bitcoin in the green. So it would depend on how many people you have selling at Bitcoin at 150,000, 200,000. How, I don't know. That's tough to say. Right, let's see here. My impression the last few weeks is that BTC keeps trying to run, and then Trump starts talking and it dives. Could he be trying to hold the price down? Because if he is, it's working. Could he be trying to keep it? Maybe. Right, trying to keep the price down while they work on the Bitcoin strategic reserve? Maybe. There's a lot of maybes. But I just don't think that's the case. All right. Let's see here. Hey, Sebastian, thanks for streaming, my brother. You're very welcome, Mr. I can't pronounce your last name or your first name. I do apologize for that. Okay, here. Hi, Seb. Question. I think the miners will not perform like what you think. Investors seem to want to buy BTC ETF instead. Lost so much on Bitfarms, Mawson, and Cleanspark, over 100,000 for a year of investing. Okay, so you got in. Unfortunately, you got in at higher prices, and I'm guessing at that point that you lost 100,000. That's a lot. So I definitely feel for you there. And you might be right. I might be wrong on this. Maybe the miners have topped out. I don't think that's the case, or I don't believe that's the case, but I could be wrong on it, right? So I'm willing to be open with you guys and be truthful about it, that I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be wrong. Okay, let's see here. Ryan celebrates 23 months of membership. Smash the like button, y'all. Awesome, Ryan. Thanks for being with me for that long. That's awesome. Let's see here. At this point, what do you think would be the best outcome for Bitfarms? Ultimately, what do you think will be the likely outcome? Okay, best outcome would be if they can actually execute on their growth plans. Getting Stronghold here, buying them out. We're going to have dilution happening with that. But then growing to the 18 exahash and then getting the T21's issue resolved, I think would be a good outcome for them. They need to grow. And beyond that, if they can also get maybe a HPC deal into 2026, I think that would be a great outcome. That would be like the best outcome, right? The likely outcome is they stumble and fall again. Just based on what I've been seeing here the last year, I had high hopes for them. They were talking about getting to 21 exahash by the end of 2024. That didn't materialize. So they said 21 exahash by the end of the first half of 2025. That's been pushed down now to like 18. So if they really got to get out of their own way and actually execute. If they can't, they're going to stumble again, and that might be the likely outcome, unfortunately. And that's why that's one of the main reasons why I sold 2/3 of my shares there in Bitfarms. I had a heck of a lot more, but I still own a little bit there. Hank says, I'm Canadian, I like to stay Canadian, or stay Canadian. I love my country. If we have to stay with the Liberals and Trudeau. Yeah, I mean, everybody loves it. There's no way that the United States is going to take Canada as the 51st state, right? It's just Trump being Trump and, poking the nest a little bit there, trying to get some maybe secessions or concessions, whatever it is, with the border security, whatever it might be, that whatever he's trying to get out of that. So, and I love my Canadian friends. You guys are great. All right, let's see. Seb, if BTC dips to 80,000, then all the short sellers are correct. They will use their short puts to cover and go long, riding BTC up to do it again. Yeah. So, right, if they're correct that it goes down to the CME futures gap and we fill that gap, then they were correct, right? They were correct at shorting, and they might be the reason that it actually goes down to it, because they are putting that much pressure on possibly the miners, maybe even Bitcoin itself. I don't know. But yeah. All right. Let's see. Hey, Seb, we dropped today because economic indicators are starting to release bad numbers. Blame Trump's fake BS tariffs. Blame Trump's. Yeah, the tariffs are playing a part in this, but I don't think it's the reason why we dropped today. I think today we dropped because of Bybit, the China FUD about the coronavirus being, new version of it being even worse. And what else was there today? There was something else. There was some economic news as well. I think consumer confidence or something like that was down or something like that. I think that was another part of it maybe as well. All right, here. Thoughts on if you think Stronghold shareholders will accept or reject the Bitfarms? I think they're going to accept it. Let's see here. Hi, Seb from Luxembourg. Luxembourg, it's a beautiful country. Hi to you as well. Luxembourg is one of those countries that I want to visit. I know it's small, but it's supposed to be very beautiful. I want to visit it one of these years. Let's see. A purchase 2% increase would increase BTC by 56%. A purchase 2% increase would increase BTC by 56%. You mean like if the country bought 2%, so like a 2% increase, and so somebody bought 2% of Bitcoin supply out there, that would increase it by 56%. Okay, that's interesting then. Alrighty, let's see what else we got here. We're getting close to the end here. Let's see. How many days of BTC traded mined will Sailor buy next week with 2 to 3? How many days? Or I'm sure he's going to buy quite a bit. I don't think he's going to buy it all at once, but he's been buying usually weekly. He's been on a pause here for the last 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. Let's see here. Will North Korea establish a Ethereum strategic reserve? Right? Is that what they're blaming on North Korea, that they hacked it and they stole it? I doubt they will do that. I think we saw already that some of the Ethereum was being pushed into other exchanges and Solana and things like that. Yeah. Let's see. Hank says, you are 100% correct, Sebastian. This is in Trump. Yeah. Okay, this is funny. As a resident Minnesotan, I propose we join Canada instead, and the U.S. is free to become 49 states instead. Okay. All right. Let's see. Seb, how are you doing in general? I can't imagine how exhausting it must be doing all these streams for us and working and keeping up with the family. I am naturally a very positive person, and I enjoy doing this stuff. It does take a toll. That's why I at least need to take a day off on Saturdays, just to kind of relax, right? But I enjoy this. I'm doing good. I'm not happy with the price action we're seeing in the miners or Bitcoin right now. Nobody is probably, but I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking though. All right, let's see here. Okay, Sebastian, just one Cleanspark or IREN. Oh my gosh. I would have to go with right now with Cleanspark because they have a much larger HODL position. IREN doesn't have a HODL position, but the only thing that could sway me over to IREN is if they have a HPCI deal, which right now they're in the works on something. So it's not easy. It's tough, but that's why I own both of them right now. Let's see. Could you show your T on the Cleanspark weekly and daily charts on the 2-year timeline? Though this is distribution timeline through distribution. Well, let's take a look at it really quick. Let's take a look at Cleanspark here. I don't know if I can get 2-year timeline. Let's go here. So here is, we're going back to, what is this, 2023 May. So we're pretty close on that, right? So what happened here with Cleanspark? I mean, Cleanspark right now is down. It's still holding the recent lows that we had here, which was back in December 30th. It's holding it right now, at least. We'll see what happens on Monday and Tuesday next week. But we did come down to a low of, what was the low there? Low was $8.04 here recently. This was back in September. We bounced from that, but going back here, we had a nice bounce in Cleanspark back in January of 2024, which a lot of miners bounced. We came back down, and then they came out with good numbers for their earnings release, right? And the stock went up nicely here. It still bounced, or kind of, I would say kind of bounced a little bit here and came back up. I don't know where it's going to go right now. I still think that the bottom here was back in September for them. They went up to $18 here, right, recently, with Bitcoin going up 200,000, and they've been coming back down. But that's also, Bitcoin has been coming down, kind of trading sideways more or less. I think we're going to get another bounce here. When that's going to happen, though, I don't know exactly when that's going to happen. I don't think anybody knows when that's going to happen. All right, let's go back here. Oh, what else do we have here? Talked about that one already. Let's see. Let's see, M. Charles. Wow, my pup's going crazy. You're really good at it. The live streams are top notch. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see, Cobra says Coinbase got smashed like a miner this week. Coinbase is a proxy on Bitcoin as well, right? They make their money from people trading Bitcoin and everything else. Bitcoin going up in value, that creates more trading as well. Let's see here. I see your routine and offer you some of our tater tot hot dish as a symbol of good faith. Okay, I'll take that. Let's see here. I love how those guys on the spaces always mention their calls they got right, but not the calls for the $2 IREN or Cleanspark $4. Yeah, I mean, it's one-sided a lot of times. All right. Let's see, M. Charles here. With your eyes of experience, do we normally see these head and shoulders patterns bounce off that major trend line? That I don't know. I'm not a TA guy when it comes to miners or Bitcoin technical analysis. I look at fundamentals for these guys, see where they are, where I think they should be, and then I look at TA a little bit, but it's not my main driving force. So there's definitely people that are much better at TA than I am. All right, let's see. Hank, puppy. Yeah, it's my puppy. All right. All right. I think, yeah, all the very best here. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hank says, night, Sebastian. Yeah, we'll call it a day. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Today was not a good day for us in the mining space or anything else in general. We'll see where we go. The weekend, I'm guessing Bitcoin's going to go probably sideways a little bit. I'm not expecting much action here. And then we'll see where we go on Monday again. We'll do a stream on Sunday. We'll look at how the miners did for this week against Bitcoin as well. And then anything else we want to cover at that point. But yeah, today was not a good day. I'm more than happy to admit that. I think all of us can admit that. But I still, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong on this, but I still believe that Bitcoin's going to go up higher over the next 6 to 9 months. But we'll see, right? So Brian says it pretty well. Love the Black Friday deals today. Yeah, I bought more today as well. So wish you guys a happy Friday. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Get outside. Do something. Don't just stare at the screen on Bitcoin and everything else. Spend time with your family if you can. And just relax. We'll be back on Sunday and we'll talk about it all. So love you all. Have a great weekend. I'll see you then.